how do I successfully transition stakeholders so they work with the BAU team and stop coming to me?
Okay, so this is where presumably stakeholders, you've been working with a bunch of people over the life of the project, and now the project is shutting down and you're into business as usual, but they're still coming to you with all the issues, which happens because they've got used to seeing you, and also if the project's delivered quite well, they might be used to you as a person what gets things done.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible label to end up with, because people get you to do things. But I think, one of the jobs of project management, and I have to say, one that because of where it falls in a project plan, typically towards the end, we transition things. So towards the end is where it gets looked at and hurriedly handed over into BAU. Having a good transition plan that importantly writes you out of the equation is really important. So there are a couple of reasons why stakeholders might still be coming to you, and that is that they aren't getting the response they desire from the BAU team. But again, you need to dig into that because it's not your job to support this in BAU. So you either need to make, push back. I mean, it's totally valid to push back, but I suppose there's something that says if you haven't given them a clear route, or you haven't been clear enough around what their BAU process is, then of course they're going to come to you.
Yeah.
So reiterating, no, I've rolled off the project now. Here's what you must now do is really important. Explaining to them what the process now is, but making sure that process, the BAU process, is robust, that it's going to meet the needs of the people who will use it post project, and that actually starts much earlier in the project. So whilst it's unhelpful to say, well, did you put a good plan in 3 months ago? Obviously at the point where people are coming to you it's a bit too late to put in a transition plan. But actually one of the things that stops that happening in general is having a good transition plan, a clear route into BAU, and communicating it early on. So you can have those conversations throughout the project. I'll deal with your issues now, but when this goes live, you'll have to go through this route, and make sure people are really clear on that. And actually, as part of that plan, write yourself out of the play, as it were. I can't make it so that you can't actually help people in BAU, and then it's really easy. So if you've got, for example, if it's a technology deployment, and as PM you've had certain access into the system, so you can maybe see what's going on, or you've been using it for demos or whatever, make sure those rights go away the second you go live, because as PM you probably anyway. Make it so you can't help.
So it's physically impossible for you to actually help them.
Yeah, but also if you're a PM and the project is now live, you are probably moving into the closure phase of the project, and you're probably starting to pick up your next one as well. You have to roll off and you're moving on, and you can be really clear about, I actually can't help you. I'm working on another project now, but here's the route that you must take. It's not enough, obviously, in business and in life generally, just to say, I can't help you.
Yeah.
What you want to say is, I can't help you, but here is the person that can. So yeah, it's about making sure there's, and it might be that there's something you can do there that says, actually, I didn't do a great job of support and transition here. That's why they're still coming to me. And maybe there's another loop I need to go around just to make sure some things are in place. And whilst that's a bit of extra work for you, in the short term, it's going to stop them coming to you over and over again in the long term.
That's a really interesting take on it, because I think, you can see it as being a victim of your own success of having engaged stakeholders so much that they only want to work with you, but that's not your job. As you said, you've got other projects to go and work on. So building that into the plan is a really good way of making sure that transition can happen smoothly.
Yeah, and it's obviously it's lovely when people want to work with you, and over the course of a long project or even a short project, you can have built very deep relationships with people that you want to maintain. You don't want to say no to people, but if you enjoy working with someone, if you enjoy working with me, work with me as a project manager. I'm going to be a terrible support engineer.
Absolutely,
it's not my job. It's not what I do. So yeah, it is important to remind people of your role as well. I don't, if I've done an office fit out and installed a load of fridges as part of that, you wouldn't ask me to empty the fridge. So why are you asking me to support your IT system? It's being really clear about what the roles are.
Yeah.
And that the role they're asking you to do is actually not yours.
Excellent.